Aid is now being distributed in Gaza. A U.S. and Israeli-backed group says it began delivering food to starving people inside Gaza despite objections from the United Nations. The UN says the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation is attempting to bypass UN regulations and, quote, weaponize aid. Israel has been blocking aid for nearly 3 months to put pressure on Hamas. This comes as an Israeli airstrike killed at least 52 people in Gaza, hitting a school that's being used as a shelter. A girl was seen escaping the building with flames surrounding her. We're told that she survived, but her mother and siblings were killed. Israel says it was targeting terrorists hiding inside of that building. So for more on this, I want to bring in foreign correspondent Marcus Moore, who is tracking this story for us. And Marcus, what is the latest on Israel's offensive in Gaza?
Well, hey, Alex, Israel has carried out numerous airstrikes across several parts of Gaza, of the Gaza Strip, including Gaza City. That's where that school was hit, as well as Khan Yunis, where over the weekend a pediatrician nearly lost her entire family in a strike as she cared for patients at a nearby hospital. 9 of her children were killed, ranging in ages from 7 months to just 12 years old. Another one of her children and her husband, who is also a doctor, they were injured and were said to be in critical condition. You know, Israel has said that these strikes are targeting alleged Hamas command and control centers. The IDF claimed that they've evacuated civilians from these areas for their own safety. But I think when you put all of this together, you get a real sense that at the very least, there's seemingly no safe place for innocent families to go, and that the risk remains high wherever they retreat to. Alex.
Well, and Marcus, aid is now getting into Gaza. I mean, it looks like the UN specifically opposes this particular group or the way they're going about it. But what does that look like moving forward? Is this going to continue? Is more aid going to roll in?
Well, the hope, Alex, is that the aid will continue to reach Gaza and particularly the people who need it. And we've begun to see images of aid being distributed today at one center in Gaza. The Gaza Humanitarian Foundation has said that they began to distribute that aid. But at the moment, Alex, it's unclear exactly how much aid has been distributed and to whom. But in principle, the idea is to open these distribution centers and provide enough aid to these families for them to eat for a week. We have seen images of people walking away with boxes that have flour and pasta and other food items. This food being distributed by private companies backed by Israel and the U.S. And as you mentioned, the UN and other aid groups have criticized this organization over their planned vetting of who gets the aid and also how it's ultimately distributed. They've been saying that it's contrary to humanitarian law and that the food is being used as a weapon. But it's also worth noting, Alex, that over the weekend, the head of that organization abruptly resigned over those concerns. And the UN Secretary General has said recently that the aid currently going into Gaza amounts to a teaspoon when a flood of assistance is needed.
Marcus Moore, thank you for that update.